Modern day BMX right now is unbelievable. The quality of the parts, all the different shapes and sizes of everything, it's like it's never been before. Right here is my personal bike, and this is my pride and joy. This is my titanium layered frame. And I was thinking about it recently that this is the most expensive bike that I've ever owned. And I was just trying to think in my head of exactly how much it is. Even though I did pay for a lot of the parts on the bike, I did get a lot of things for cost being at the bike shop, and then I also got some parts from friends. So I decided to make a list today and go over all the parts and price it all up and break it down for you guys to see exactly how much it is. And then at the end of the video, we're gonna figure out what the total is and see what else I could have bought with the total when it's all said and done. So let me show you guys the list. So here's the list that I came up with today. That took me a really long time to figure out. So while I was doing this today, me and BK were in the back trying to figure out the pricing of everything, which was quite complicated because there's stuff on my bike that they don't actually make anymore. So since I have a bike shop, I get stuff for cost. But some of the companies that we don't carry at the bike shop, I ended up getting full price, and we'll go over that. So we're gonna be building the bike up right now, just as if one of you guys were about to purchase it, and we're gonna see what the final price is. And we're gonna start with the cheapest parts on the bike, and we're gonna make it all the way to the most expensive. So let's get this started. So the cheapest part that's on my bike right now are the Odyssey slick brake cables. I have two brake cables on my bike because I have a complicated brake set that has two cable stops. So each cable goes to an individual brake arm. And the retail price of these cables are $4.99. So times two, that's about $10. Working our way up, the next part on my bike is going to be the tubes. Since there's two of them, they're at $6.99. These are actually just the regular rubber ones. Lately, I've been running the Tubalitos, and those are $35. So that should save some money off of this build. The third item on my list are my grips. These are ODI long necks, and these go for $12.99. The kink pegs, right now I have two of them, and they go for $17.99. Those are kink drift pegs. Now a random part that you're gonna find on my bike, but not on anybody else's, are my pedal extenders. I put these in my bike because I want my feet to be a little bit further away from the crank arms, because since my crash, I have a problem with my ankles turning inward, so they tend to hit the edge of the crank arms, and sometimes I cut my ankles, so these are $22.99. So moving straight up the bike, we're going to the seat post, which is the Primo Pivotal seat post. Nothing too special about this one. It's just a regular black pivotal that I ended up getting from the shop, and this is at $23.99. Going back down to the bottom of the bike again is the bottom bracket. Brooklyn tells me that's a merit bottom bracket. I have no idea how I got my hands on it, but when I looked up the merit bottom bracket, it was $25.99. Number 8 on the list is my brake lever. Now this is a snafu anchor lever, and this comes in at $25.99. Number 9 on the list is another snafu part. Now this is a snafu signature seat, and this comes in at $38.99. Number 10 on the list is another double part that I have on the bike. Now these are the KHE Mach 2 tires that go for $54.99. These are pretty expensive when it comes to tires, so this is definitely going to add to the price. Number 11 on the list is my chain, which is a Shadow Conspiracy Supreme chain. The reason why I ride this chain is because it's pretty much unbreakable, and the last thing I want to worry about when I'm pedaling my bike is my chain breaking, so I play it safe with Shadow. And that chain comes in at $60. Now the next part on the list is a pretty rare piece right here. It's an RNC titanium sprocket coming in at $80, and that's the first part on the list that definitely has a big jump from a regular aluminum part. Staying on the drivetrain, we're going to go to the pedals. Right now I'm running some really old time attack pedals, and to be honest with you, I don't even know exactly what these are. It looks like it says X something on it, so I went and googled it, and it seems like if you were going to buy a new pair of these, you would have to get the Time XC2s, and that would be about $90. Moving on to part number 14, the brakes. Now this is a part that I ended up getting from Brooklyn, so technically I didn't pay for these, and I'm lucky I didn't because these are older fly brakes, but if you were going to get a new pair of these, they would be about $95. The next part on our list you won't see on too many other bikes. This is the Kink ceramic headset, but the price is a big difference, so it comes in at $100. Number 16 on the list is the rare RNC lightweight top load stem. Now this is an aluminum stem that has titanium bolts in it, and it has a lot of cutouts with the CNC machine. So this part comes in at $100, which is really expensive for a stem, but it's definitely a one-of-a-kind piece. Number 17 on the list is another titanium part. Well, there's actually 72 of them. These are the titanium spokes, and if you were going to get 72 spokes, that would cost $216, and these are USA brand titanium spokes. Moving up to the top of the bike for number 18 on the list, and that's the handlebars. These are custom-made titanium handlebars. I ended up getting these a couple months back, and these are made by Cranmer. So they're extremely lightweight, but they are expensive, coming in at $299. And the next part is straight down from the handlebars, and it's also a Cranmer titanium part. These are the custom titanium forks that I got made, and these are more expensive than the handlebars. They come in at $349. So the prices are getting pretty high right now, and this next one is definitely a very expensive part. These are RNC titanium cranks, and these they actually don't even make anymore. They make a different version of them, so you won't be able to find these on their website anymore, but the versions that are on my bike are $420. It's titanium crank arms, bolts, and a spindle. Next item on the list is number 21, which is the hubs. And these are left-hand drive profile mini hubs that have all titanium hardware, including the driver. And these come in at $426.99. Now we're getting to the end of the list here, and this next part that's on my bike actually comes in a pair. Now these are the Alienation Acme UD carbon fiber rims. These come in at $402 per rim, so together they're going to cost you $804. Now the last part on the list is the main item that keeps everything together. This is my titanium custom-made layered frame. What's so great about this frame is that it's made in the USA by a former BMX professional named Mike Laird. Now you can get it completely customized to whatever angle, size, or dimension you want. And the frame comes in at around 3 pounds. But to get a lightweight frame like this, you're gonna have to pay big time. And a 20-inch titanium frame starts in at $1,965. So if you were going to try to build this bike up and pay MSRP for every single part that's on this bike, you're going to have to dish out $5,325.88. And that's even before tax. That is crazy to me. It's even more than I expected. I knew it was a very expensive and rare bike, but now I'm going to be looking at this thing a little bit more carefully. This thing is not going to be in my truck anymore. I'm going to put this thing in a safe. I was just thinking about that number, $5,325.88. And I was like, man, what else could you do with that if you weren't going to be buying a titanium BMX bike? So I went on Auto Trader and I was trying to see the coolest car that I could find underneath that price range. And I ended up finding a 2009 BMW 328i Coupe. Now this thing has red interior, it has navigation, it's nice black with the rims on the outside, and you could be styling it up, driving around in that thing for cheaper than this bike actually costs. And that's just crazy to me. I'm at a loss for words right now, thinking that this right here costs more than that car technically. It's crazy to think where BMX is in 2021. My bike isn't even the most expensive bike that's in our riding crew. Let me show you guys the real deal. And this should come as no surprise to a lot of you guys, but this is BK's bike right here, and this thing is definitely one of a kind. And there's a lot of different parts that are on this bike compared to mine, even though that some of the parts on my bike are more expensive than it, but you have some very intricate things on there. So let's talk about all the titanium random parts that you would get your hands on. Like where would the price come from, really?
Pretty much what you just said, all the little knickknacks of the tie that...
And like for an example, like point at something that like...
Barrel adjusters and brake lever bolts.
Jeez, so every one of these bolts, the ones that are right here, these barrel adjusters, these are all titanium. The ones that are back here, even your brake stuff, all that stuff's titanium pretty much.
And then I can even give you one that's random, that makes no sense. My special bottom bracket, my set screws.
So your set screws, just those little screws right there are titanium. See, this has got to be even more money than my bike, which is crazy. And you're actually building a bike that's going to be even more expensive than this one. And I'm excited to do a bike check on that one. When's the ETA of that thing going to be done?
It's all going a plan the end of next month.
Wow. Well, I'm excited, man. I bet you YouTube is too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So guys, that is going to be it for the priced out bike check of my ride right here. I'm so proud of this bike, and just like Brooklyn, I am actually building up another bike too, and my next bike is going to be even crazier and more one of a kind. And just to let you guys know, there's a lot of these parts that are available on our online store of our bike shop that we're currently standing in. It's scbicycles.com, so you guys can go check it out or check the link in the description. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like this one, and remember to subscribe to the channel. And until next time guys, peace. Thank you to everyone for supporting my brand, Can't Slow Down. If you want to get involved, you can go to can'tslowdown.com or go to the link in the description of the video.